All right. Hello, hello. It is almost 8 o'clock. I have my camera off. I'm still sick. I have this like lingering cough that won't go away. So please excuse my voice. But little recap for the team. We have our vision board party on Sunday. I hope everybody can make it. Collect pictures now, collect little things now. I know I got a vision board book. I just ordered it today off Amazon that has pictures and stuff you can cut out, which is really cool. Tiffany did that at her leadership meeting one time, and I really liked that. But you don't need that. You can grab magazines. You can even get stuff off the internet. If you have to do yours digital, let's say you don't have a printer, that's fine. You can do that too. So I hope you guys make it on Sunday. Tomorrow we have a corporate live going over some New Year's sales. So that's going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern time. So be on that call. And those are really the updates. Oh, we have a boot camp coming. We'll talk more about this. It's going to be more at the end of the month, but I have right now a group of about 5 or 6 different leaders throughout the team who are going to be doing different things. Like one girl, she is actually a Marine. So she's going to be doing the boot camp part, like fitness part. We have some girls doing makeup, and we're thinking about turning it into like a whole big team party to really just kick off February and the year of the horse. It starts in February, so we're excited. So you'll get more information on that too. Very excited for that. But tonight we are on chapter 4, and we're going to talk about personal development and self-talk. This is probably the biggest skill in your network marketing career. We could teach you how to recruit. We could teach you how to do, to sell. We could teach you all of those things, but personal development and self-talk will either help you take those skills that you're learning and exceed and go further, or it's going to stop you and you're going to be like paralyzed on not knowing what to do because you're always talking yourself out of it. Um, that's normal. So if that's you, you just got to get a little bit more personal development. So work harder on yourself than you do at your job or your business. Of course, that's a famous quote from Jim Rohn. So sometimes our self-talk is, I can't do anything different than what my parents did. Or I failed at this, I failed at that. And I'm going to improvise on this book a little bit. I've heard people say, I've been doing this for a year. I've been doing this for 2 years. I've been doing this for 6 months. I'm not where I want to be. And they start having that doubt. And I've seen this over and over and over again. And can I just be completely honest with you guys? Like, yeah, there's probably companies where me, as a top leader, a top recruiter, maybe I could probably make more money than here, but I'll tell you what, my team wouldn't. My team wouldn't at all. And that doesn't align with me. Pharmacy 1000% is a place where I can make good money, yes. Like I said, I could probably make more as a top recruiter and as a company that, really emphasizes recruiting. I could be making a lot of money, but my team would be making hardly anything. And that is not how I want to build a business. So, I hear that all the time, it's taking me so long. But you have to like sit back and look at it. This is how I look at my business because, I'm not where I want to be, but there's nowhere else I know that I can build where I want to be besides here. So I look at it and we're starting with people who are pretty new into leadership. The leaders on our team who are rising, the leaders on our team who I see are building their confidence and building their skill set, they are where I was 10 years ago. I'm not looking for people who already have big teams. They can make it anywhere. What I am looking for are people who have a desire, who have a want, because I know pharmacy is the place that our team members can win, not just me. I don't want to just be at me at the top collecting all of the commissions. Like that is not where I would want to be. So, you know, sometimes that self-talk comes in, and I see it with even people that I work with. They're like, oh, I just wish I could be further along. And I have to remind them we are building something from scratch. Look at these amazing leaders that we have that are rising on this team. They never had leadership positions in network marketing before. This is so new to them. And I know that with their skill sets being built together, we're going to build something so big where there's all of us being paid, not just a select few. I'm not here for the select few. I'm here for all of us. So if that ever comes into your head, that's where personal development comes in. So, sometimes you can say, I failed at this, I failed at that. I'll probably fail at network marketing. Or maybe you're thinking even in your head, I've been in a lot of different companies. I'll probably fail at pharmacy too. Remind yourself you need to rise past that. You can break the pattern. We build our own walls of limitations, and my goal is to help you bring those walls down. So when I started my business, I had a voice in the back of my head saying, this isn't going to work. You've tried this before. And every time any little thought like that popped into my mind, I would plug myself back into personal development and I would go watch Jim Rohn. You guys, you hear me talk about Jim Rohn a lot. He is the GOAT, okay, of network marketing, of sales, of personal development. If I had to pick one person that I could learn from and only one person, it would definitely be Jim Rohn. So I'd go watch one of his videos. I would redirect those negative thoughts into learning and knowing that I'm growing and I'm going to become a better version of myself. So bring down your walls or self-imposed limitations. I also tell my team to watch out for negative self-talk. Whenever you're having those negative thoughts, you need to reach for your personal development resources. Personal development is going to help you get out of that slump. It's going to pump you up again because you can't hold a negative and positive thought in your mind at the same time. We learned that from Tony Robbins. So when I'm having negative self-talk, as soon as I notice it, my body starts to tense up, my breathing kind of gets a little shallow, like I know the cues in my body, and I fire up my Audible. I go put on a YouTube video, or I'll call Jen up and we will just brainstorm 2026, okay? And it gets me out of that negative headspace. I'll start reading or listening to something inspiring, uplifting, because it changes that mindset right away and you're not stuck there. So when you're stuck there, and that's the whole big thing about your circle too, and the people you surround yourself with. If all of your friends are kind of complaining about everything and then you're having a bad day and you're complaining, you are stuck. You're in quicksand and you're slowly sinking further and further and further. So that's why sometimes we just got to get ourselves out of it. Your favorite's John Maxwell. I love John Maxwell. Plug-in approach for personal development. Another approach I ask is to ask yourself specific questions to shift your thinking and expand your vision. So sometimes we just have to have that little self, hey, Jackson. Shh. Sorry, guys. um, but sometimes we just have to have that little self-talk with ourselves. So I learned this technique from a training I attended a while ago. Here's 4 steps you can take to neutralize negative thoughts and emotions with some questions. So, number 1, write this down. Test your reality. What's my evidence for and against my thinking? Am I jumping to negative conclusions? How can I find out if my thoughts are actually true? 2, look for alternative explanations. Are there any other ways I could look at the situation? What else could this mean? If I were being 100% positive, how would I perceive the situation? Number 3, put it into perspective. What's the best thing that could happen? Is there anything good about this situation? Will this matter 5 years from now? That's one I ask myself a lot. And people always ask me, how are you always so calm? You never get mad. You're never mad. You're always calm. When I say if it doesn't matter in 5 years, I'm not going to spend 5 minutes on it. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of the way that you look at things. Use direct thinking. Is this a way of thinking that will help me achieve my goals? Ask yourself that. Is this way of thinking, is this going to get me where I want to be? What can I what can I do that'll help me solve this problem? Is there something I can learn from this situation to help me do better next time? That number 4, the direct thinking, that's one that I use a lot. Anytime something in my life happens that other people would perceive as horrible, kind of like as an example, when I wasn't able to work for 4 months and they were trying, my old company was trying to bring me down. A lot of people were like, how are you getting through this? How are you getting through this? And I said, everything's happening for us. It might feel like it sucks really bad right now, but it's happening for a reason. There's a reason why, and absolutely, it's because we're building something so big and it's going to help so many people that, sometimes the good tries to get stopped. And that's where that negative self-thought, same thing in your life, same thing with the things that you're doing. Just look at it from a different perspective. So over time, you're going to be able to tell when a negative thought comes into your mind and you'll learn to not let it take over. That's the secret. We're all going to have negativity. We're not like toxic positivity around here, but you can't let it consume you because it will. And then when you start thinking about that negative and then you get into a slump, it seems like every single thing starts piling on top of you. You know, the saying, when it rains, it pours. That's kind of why. It's just piled up and it's just negative after negative after negative, and your mind is just not, you can't work that way. You're going to be able to redirect it to something positive or ask yourself some questions to see if it's really that big of a deal to begin with. That's a big one too. When it comes to, like, let's say you have somebody on your team who signed up, you were really excited about them, and they decide that they don't want to do it, and they're not going to do it. At the time, you might be really upset. It might seem like a really big deal, like you really wanted them on the team. But if you sit and think about it and look at the perspective, did they actually do anything? No, they probably didn't. Were they taking a lot of your time that could have been spent looking for new business? Yes, they probably did. So it's just the way you look at things. Sometimes things seem like it's a really big deal in the moment, but later on you realize it really wasn't. And you spent all of that time and all of that energy getting upset and stressing about something that doesn't even matter anymore. You know what I mean? So we need to check that. Raise your awareness about your thinking. When we ask ourselves, will this matter in 5 years? The answer most of the time is no, it won't. Then we can see perhaps if we're being a little hard on ourselves, or if we're blowing things out of proportion, or we're being overly dramatic or emotional. Once we set our intent to catch each negative thought, we raise our awareness about the thinking. You'll see that with practice, it gets easier and easier. So I recently took my little boys to see a movie. This is old, you guys. Tomorrowland. That came out a long time ago. There's a mention of a good wolf and a bad wolf in your head. And when they're fighting, which wolf wins? It's the wolf you feed, right? I know you guys all heard that message before. And it's not only for kids. It really comes down to, what thoughts am I feeding? And if you're feeding the negative ones, you're going to let more you're going to get you're going to get negative results. It's just going to happen. And it all goes back to the law of attraction. Honey, you got to go. Sorry, guys. He wants mommy. Okay, so be mindful of your self-talk. It's a conversation with the universe. I want you to remember that. I'm going to say it again. Jackson, please, honey. All right, Will's coming to grab him, you guys. Sorry. So I want to say this again because I think this is worth writing down. Be mindful of your self-talk. It's a conversation with the universe. And it's so true. That one saying right there could change my life. So the first step is to notice when your thoughts are turning against you and your mindset is going downhill. In most situations, it's going to happen gradually. The question is, how do you quickly realize what's going on so you can interrupt the pattern? So in other words, you have to be aware of what happens before you can shift that direction. So I've learned that anytime I talk to myself and I'm not feeling very good, it's time to make a conscious shift from self-defeating to empowering. Oh, I can't say that word. But from that self-defeating thoughts to thoughts that are going to self-empower you. So let's say you have really low self-esteem. Instead of thinking I'm not capable or I don't deserve this, I need you to switch that thinking. I need you to start saying I'm learning to be confident, or every day I feel more worthy of my success. And if we continually shift our self-talk to what we see, what we want to see, and what we want to have, we're going to create exactly that. For instance, I'm really bad at spelling, so I tell myself, I'm becoming great at spelling. It helps me. I practice to tell myself I'm getting better, even though I'm not good at it yet. I'm pretty good at spelling now, so this book's kind of old. See, it works. Replace self-defeating thoughts with self-empowering thoughts. I used to practice Taekwondo as a kid, and we had to break the board. The instructor said you have to think about it in your head over and over and over. You have to see yourself breaking that board, hear yourself breaking that board, and when you do it over and over and over again and you go break that board, it breaks. And it's true, you guys. Like you have to sit there and think about it in your head. Like you have to see yourself in your mind's eye breaking that board over and over and over and over again. And that's the secret to actually breaking the board. And it's the same with your business. You have to see that success. And if you're just thinking about what you don't have or where the position you're not at yet, or maybe your check's too small, and you just keep thinking about that, you're not going to break that board. Okay? You're not going to break that board. So I need you to really put that focus on what it would feel like to be in the position that you want, to have your business where you want it, to be in that situation. So for what what will your feet I cannot talk, sorry. What will your feet look like when it goes through the wood? Your mind doesn't know reality from fiction, you guys. So if you focus on how things will happen, they seem to happen exactly that way. And I cannot tell you this enough. And I might talk about this going forward in this book, but I used to do this. I remember touring houses that I couldn't afford because I wanted to feel what it would feel like as someone who could afford those houses. I remember going into the mall and back when True Religion was really expensive and going in there and trying on the jeans to be feel like what would it feel like somebody who could just walk in and buy a pair of $150 jeans. Like I wanted to feel that feeling when it wasn't my reality yet. And I'm telling you guys, it became my reality because you make that in your mind's eye first. I know it sounds like crazy woohoo stuff, but I'm telling you, I lived it, I did it, and it worked. Okay, here's Dave's part. I agree 100%. Whatever you want to happen will happen. Play it out in your head over and over, and this creates a pathway in your brain. Then, once the situation comes to you in real life, you're ready for it because you've already spent countless hours preparing for it. Everything exists first in the mind. Everything's created on the outside was first in someone's thought, in a plan or a dream. That's how reality gets created. A quote I firmly believe in is by the author Peter McWilliams, and it's our thoughts are so powerful, we can't afford the luxury of a single negative self talk. So, this is especially true in network marketing. This business, it's not easy. So, you can't afford letting your thoughts go downhill and negative. It takes a while to develop that routine. It's okay if a negative thought pops up. We're human. Like I said, everything's not going to be rainbows every day. But you just got to catch that feeling right away. You got to catch that negative thought right away, especially if it's bringing yourself down, telling yourself you can't do this, telling yourself your checks are too small, you're not going to make it, you're not going to make money. Whatever that self talk is in your head, it's going to be true. It's going to be true. So if you're telling yourself you're not going to make it, you probably won't. And I hate saying this because I want everybody to make it because I know everybody can. That's why I'm at pharmacy. That's why I'm not at any other company. Like I said, maybe I could make more money as a top leader, as a top sponsor at another company, but I know my people wouldn't. And this is where we are going to build an empire. This is where people who were in the situation that I was in 10 years ago, they're going to be where I am now and where I see it. I see it. I feel it. And you guys deserve this. You deserve it so much. So we can't afford that negative in our mind. We can't afford it with what we're building right now and in this time and with this movement, we can't afford to drag ourselves down. So if you hear yourself saying that you can't make this, you need to check it. You need to check it and you need to replace it saying, I am learning my skill sets. I get on these calls. I am going to be where Amber says I'm going to be because I've seen it happen, you guys. I've seen it in my own life. There's nothing that's different between me and you. Nothing besides I just was delusional that it's going to happen. When everybody said, Amber, you're crazy. It doesn't happen for people like you, but it does. It does. Okay. So the truth is, okay, so if you catch yourself say like this isn't for me, I need you to don't give up. Don't say this must not be for me. You're just practicing. Like you are in practice mode right now. So I need you to keep going. Just like any other skill, it takes time to develop. Being able to sort through your thoughts and monitor them and direct them is a skill that you can learn to master, and it's going to help you in like every situation in life. So positive thoughts are more powerful than negative ones. That's a good thing for us. The positive ones carry so much more power. So the beauty is a positive thought has a higher vibration, which makes it more powerful. So if you've had a lot of negative thoughts about something, you need to switch it to a positive thought. It's going to be easier to neutralize the effect of the negative thought because the higher the energy, the more power. Just like in the movie The Secret, Michelle Beckwith said a positive thought is 100 times more powerful than a negative one. And I've received plenty of evidence in my own life to promise you that this is true. So, this chapter, we broke down bringing down your walls and your self imposing beliefs, plugging into your personal development program, Ask yourself questions to redirect your thinking. Raise your awareness about your thoughts. Replace your self-defeating thoughts with empowering thoughts. I'm going to learn to say that word. Remember that that positive thoughts are way more powerful than negative ones. Do you guys have any questions on this chapter at all? Let me get to the chat. Sorry, my kids are so loud. Director to platinum. Let's go. I feel it, you guys. Like this is I'm just gonna say this is the movement. This is it. And I feel it in my heart, in my soul. And I just know that these leaders that we see, you guys showing up on these calls every single time, I know you're going to be where you need to be. You need to give us time, though. You need to have patience, and we're learning. Everything we're doing right now is a learning process, but I promise you it's going to pay off. Like, without a doubt, it is going to pay off because I've seen it happen so many times. And I've also seen, this is the sad part, I've seen people get they want it a little sooner, or their vision gets a little clouded and they drop off too soon. I've seen that happen a lot too, and it kills me because then I see people who are under them who are just killing it, and they're like, "Man, I wish I could have went back. I wish I could have gone back," but they can't. They can't. So I'm telling you this because we all feel that way. You got to push through it. I believe in you. You have to believe in yourself. You have to. So that's
Hey,
what.
Amber,
Yeah. Yes, babe.
sorry. I jumped on late. Can you tell me what book you're reading out of?
Yeah, and I can send it to you. If you send me a message, I can send you the link. You just have to, I think it's $4 for shipping, but it's my book. It's called The 7 Cent Decision. So we were going back to basics. So I thought, what's the best way to bring back this book from 14 years ago? That's all basics.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Anybody have anything? Otherwise, tomorrow we are going. I'm not announcing it yet. I have to make a graphic, but somebody on this call, I'm going to be interviewing. Tiffany has her wedding anniversary, so she's not going to be doing tomorrow's call. So I'm going to take over and we're going to interview one of our 18% leaders. So that's what I got for you guys. We're about 5 minutes short. So if anyone has anything they want to add or ask, feel free. All right, are you guys ready for the horse here? We're ready. We're ready. Your words are what you are. Your mom used to tell you that. Your mom was smart. All right, I love you guys so much. I'll see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow night.